Before we do problem number 36, we have to be able to identify perfect squares. So I'm going to give a simple example here. If I have x plus 3 quantity squared, that's an example of a perfect square. So we can actually FOIL that, x plus 3 times x plus 3, and we would get, by using FOIL, would get x squared, which would be the first term. Outside and inside would be plus 3x, which would be plus 6x, plus 9. So basically what we're doing is the first term is squared, and then the second term times the first term would be, the first term times the second term, x times 3 would be 3x, and we would double that, and then we would square the last term. So whichever way you want to do it, if you want to use FOIL or use this method. So this is a perfect square. And we can go back to this if we factored it. Now, if we look at the denominator here, this says for what value of x is the function h above undefined. This is also a perfect square. Notice how x plus 3 squared, the first term, or x squared plus 6x plus 9, we can go back and factor it to x plus 3 squared, or factor it to x plus 3 times x plus 3. This is the same thing. We can actually factor this, x minus 5 squared plus 4 times x minus 5 plus 4. We can actually factor to x minus 5 plus 2 times x minus 5 plus 2, or x minus 5 plus 2 squared. And x minus 5 plus 2, negative 5 plus 2, is x minus 3 squared. So we can actually take this, make it a lot simpler. H of x equals 1 over, I can write that a lot better, 1 over x minus 3 squared. Now it says for what value of x is the function h above undefined? So anything undefined, if you go to your calculator and any fraction, if you put the numerator as 0, 0 divided by any number, try 0 over 5 on your calculator, it'll equal 0. 0 over anything over 0. But if you put 0 in the denominator, let's say 5 over 0 or anything over 0, you're going to get an error message. That's in your calculator. So that's what undefined is. So basically they're asking, for what value of x, is the function undefined, we have to set the denominator equal to 0. So we can set x minus 3. So we figured out that this is a perfect square. H of x equals 1 over x, quantity x minus 3 squared. We're going to set x minus 3 squared to 0. And then we're going to solve for x. So this is squared, so we're going to take the square root of both sides. So this becomes x minus 3. Square root of 0 is 0. X minus 3 equals 0. And then x equals 3. So that's the final answer. And if you want to check your answer, you can actually plug in 3 into the denominator using your calculator. Quantity 3 minus 5 squared plus 4 times 3 minus 5 You can even use the parentheses on your calculator, plus 4, and that should give you 0. Because 1 over 0, that's undefined.